Schöningen is situated at an open coal mine, and in the last, thousands of years, the site was more or less, everything was under groundwater. So the preservation is excellent. And so around 30 years ago, in Schöningen, the oldest wooden weapons of mankind were found. These were a couple of wooden spears around 300,000 years old. You have to imagine that up to now, we have absolutely no or nearly no organic finds out of that time. And due to these organic weapons, we could conclude that man, 300,000 years ago, that means that was the humans before Neanderthal man. These humans were able to produce very specific weapons, and they were able to do big game hunting. This is something very extraordinary in, let's say, cultural evolution, because up to that time, when we were found these spears, people believed that the ability to do big game hunting was something we modern humans developed. So this is like the real specialty of Schöningen. And about 10 years ago, due to this extraordinary preservation, we found another very special find. It was like a small tooth, which was somehow, it doesn't really resemble all the other tooth we found. It was not a wolf, it was no bear, because it has some very peculiar sides. And finally, we discovered that it is part of a saber-toothed cat. So what is interesting in that, up to that find, we believe that saber-toothed cats were already extinct for hundreds of thousands of years. And what is really important is that these finds of the saber-toothed cat were at the same place, at the same layer, at the same time where we had the human made spears. That means that man and saber-toothed cat shared the same habitat at the same time. And that means that our ancestors in Europe 300,000 years ago were eye to eye with one of the most extraordinary predators we know. Well, it started quite frankly with the fossils we were able to find in the excavation. So first of all, we took the fossils and tried to understand what kind of animals we have in front of us. Is it an adult animal? Is it a young one? Are there any kinds of sicknesses in it? So somehow get a picture of these animals. And then, the first thing you will discover in the exhibition is seeing that it's not a single find in the world, but saber-toothed cats were a universal species found all over the world, like in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and so on. So it was like a hugely successful animal, and we were able to present you some of the more important finds in the world. Then after let's say, if you somehow get a grasp about the fossil record, the next step is to somehow get these cats alive again. And in order to do that, you have, first of all, you have to rebuild the whole skeleton. So out of these small fossils we have to compare with other more complete fossils in order, well, a different kind of fossils in order to get a clear view of the skeleton. And then we have to, somehow get an idea about how the fleshy parts of these animals look like. So then again, we take a look at the modern day cats and try to somehow think about what kind of animal the saber-toothed cat was. For example, if you look at modern day cats, you have cats who specialize in surprise attacks. And then you have, for example, cats who are extremely good in sprinting, like a cheetah. So there are different styles of living in modern day cats, and these different styles of living, of hunting, you can easily recognize in how their body is built. And the same holds true for saber-toothed cats. We have, in the past, we had like saber-toothed cats which were quite robust, probably like the tiger surprise hunters. And then you have like the European saber-toothed cat, which is much more like similar to a lion, or also like a wolf, probably an animal which hunted in packs, and which was probably a hunter who hunted its prey to exhaustion. So this is the next part. And well, we are archaeologists, so we want to talk about culture and not only about biology. So a large part of the exhibition is about how we people perceive big cats. What is quite interesting that if we look at history, we can see that big cats had a very high importance for our ancestors. It started with Stone Age, already in the Stone Age, where we have where the main predator depicted in cave art is already the lion, or the cave lion. And it goes further in time. If you look at history, one of the most prized symbols for power of ruling people, of ruling families, is the lion, and it's more or less all over the world. So somehow these big cats of the past had a huge impact in our, let's say, collective mind. And which is quite sad that we are so proud of these animals, that we are somehow in deep awe of these animals. And on the other hand, nowadays we are more or less driving these animals into extinction.